With all the hype around AI and the cloud abstracting everything away, a lot of people are starting to wonder if traditional tech certifications, like the CCNP for networking, are even worth the grind in 2026. But it seems the reality is, networking is still the absolute foundation of every single digital service we use.
Exactly. I think that's the big misconception. People hear cloud and think the network just magically disappeared. Well, the cloud is really just someone else's very, very complex network. The CCNP isn't just a piece of paper anymore. It's a signal that you can actually navigate the modern internet's plumbing, which is getting more specialized, not less. In 2026, you don't get paid for knowing that the network exists. You get paid for ensuring it never fails under the weight of all that AI-driven traffic.
Right. It's the difference between knowing how to drive a car and knowing how to design the entire highway system for a city of self-driving cars. So the value is clearly there, but it's not just about the theory. The real shift seems to be in how this kind of professional training translates into actual, boots-on-the-ground performance.
It does. A huge differentiator for professional training now is the focus on real-world skills over just passing an exam. The whole approach is built around complex, simulated scenarios to build that job readiness and confidence. So, when you face a real network failure for the first time, you feel like you've already solved a version of it back in the lab.
I see, so it's sort of like a flight simulator for network engineers.
That flight simulator aspect is everything. There's a massive psychological difference between, knowing the command for a protocol and knowing which command to use when the CEO's Zoom call is dropping, and the data center feels like it's on fire. Professional training turns a potential crisis into just a procedure. It makes sure your first big mistake happens in a safe lab environment, not on your company's live backbone.
That makes perfect sense.
Here's the real aha moment, though. Most people think training is about learning how things work. But at the professional level, it's actually about learning how times break asterisk. Once you deeply understand all the potential breaking points, you become the person the company literally cannot afford to lose.
So you're moving from being just a maintainer to being the go-to troubleshooter.
Precisely. And that ability to solve high-stakes problems is really the bridge that takes a technician and turns them into a true professional leader in their field.
Which brings us to the business impact. Having a CCNP means you aren't just managing hardware anymore, you're managing the systems that actually drive business growth. It's proof you can handle complexity and provide the stability a company needs to scale up without its own network becoming the bottleneck.
Right. You move from the server room conversation to the boardroom conversation. I mean, when you can clearly explain how a more robust network architecture prevents a $100,000 per hour outage, you're no longer a cost center on a spreadsheet. You become a value creator. A junior admin keeps the lights on, but a professional builds the grid that allows the company to grow 10 times larger.
It's that shift in perspective, seeing the wires and routers as a core business asset that truly defines the professional level in 2026. So, if you had to boil it all down, what are the key takeaways for someone considering this path?
Well, first, networking is and will remain the indispensable foundation of all our digital assets. The CCNP is how you master it as it gets more complex. Second, the training is like a flight simulator. It provides practical, scenario-based experience that builds real confidence. Third, this certification isn't just a personal milestone. It shows employers you can design systems that directly support and protect company revenue. And finally, in an era of rapid change, upgrading to professional-level skills like this is the most effective way to keep your career future-proof. It's a long-term investment, not just a test to pass.